Okay, I'm inside the wildlife park now, and I'm looking at the larger crocs. There's a male and female in this enclosure. This one here is the male, and I believe he's over 4 meters long. I had a look at the sign up. Yeah, there's a sign just below here. Buller, 4.3 meters, 50 years of age, 600 kilograms, almost a ton. It's male. The other one's a female on the left side. 2.8 meters, also 50 years of age, only 200 kilograms. So he's 3 times heavier than the female. And I gotta say, he looks very intimidating. I don't know how it's gonna show up in the video, but his leg is about, just his little leg at the front there, it's about the same size as my thigh, so he's very impressive in person. They, actually when you first look at them, it looks like they're just like a model, like a statue. They remain so motionless. But this is what they do, they conserve energy. And they look like they're just totally unaware, but you know, they're totally aware of their surroundings. They got exceptional eyesight and pressure sensors along their body. Yeah, he's just sunning himself, warming up. It's a pretty sunny day today, it's quite warm, and he's got his legs in the water there. And they open their mouths to regulate their body temperature. And there's a frontal view of him. I think he's looking at me. Oh man, 600 kilograms. If one of these things got a hold of you, you'd struggle to, like, and it was dragging you into the river, you'd definitely panic. This bird's game. It's in the enclosure with the croc. This is the world's biggest croc here. They call him Cassius. And well, the largest croc in captivity. He's missing a leg as well. His left leg is missing. Probably due to a crocodile fight. I've seen footage of crocodiles just grabbing a hold of other crocodiles' legs and going into that death roll they do and just tearing the legs straight off. But they don't die, the crocs. They're able to stop the blood flow, so they don't bleed out. But this bird's wondering if he can take the croc down. What if he's maybe he's too big. But these birds are pretty game. I mean, he's bathing in the croc's water right next to his head. And he's stirring up a lot, you know, I mean, he's putting a lot of vibrations in the water. You can see all the ripples coming out, but the croc's paying no attention to the bird. But I'll tell you what, if I was a bird, I wouldn't be standing that close to a croc's head. Crocs are pretty quick. You heard that. Well, the croc feeder's just about to feed the croc and also give a talk about them.
Wow.
It's right there! Hey! And I get you guys to have a look off to my right. You'll see the big fella kind of making a bit of a move at the moment as well. He is trying to take himself in the water. I think he has an idea, or I have a feeling that he is going to get fed. But he did get fed yesterday. And some of these crocodiles do eat quite a bit. A crocodile of his size, if he was to take down a cow or a buffalo out there in the wild, he can live on that food for anywhere up to about 12 to 18 months without eating again. So He did get fed yesterday. There is a very good chance he will not get fed again today. These crocodiles being in captivity don't actually get that much exercise. Crocodiles out in the wild, the food that they do come across, they do have to put a little bit of effort into getting it. Is not given to them, it is not handed to them. So generally they are kind of working for their food and metabolizing that food accordingly. Whereas here at the park, we do kind of feed them every day because of the feeding shows. We try and get them up and moving, and they do kind of fall into a little bit of a rut. There is such a possibility to actually overfeed a crocodile and not give him any exercise. The food will stay in his stomach for far too long, and he will actually become ill. Now, this is our fourth largest crocodile here in the park, and he is sitting a few inches under the water, mostly because he wants me to come to him. He knows that he can come out of the water, and I know that he can come out of the water and chase his food around, but he realises that if he starts doing that, it is a fair bit of energy. It does cost him a fair bit of energy. So he will actually prefer to sit a few inches under the water and have me stand here kind of slapping the water. That way he can jump up and strike when that does happen and hopefully grab the food without having to do too much work. But as I just finished explaining, these are cold-blooded animals, and it is very important that we get them up and moving and working for their food. Now you'll notice as well that his bottom jaw is a little bit shorter than the other jaw, and that is simply because he has been in a few fights. You don't get to this age as a crocodile without going through a few fights and getting through a few battles. Now the interesting story about this guy in particular, his battle is that Cassius, this guy one day decided to climb the fence into his neighbour's enclosure. The male crocodile over there actually bit his bottom jaw off. So as you can understand, even in captivity they are always fighting. They are quite aggressive, dominant animals. And for those of you that don't know yet, these are female crocodiles that generally grow the largest. Female crocodiles have been known to grow anywhere up to about 3 meters, whereas the male crocodiles will continue to grow for the rest of their life. Try to get him out of the water a little bit. He will be reluctant to do so, and that is simply because he is quite a heavy crocodile. If I get one more jump out of him, guys, I will check the time. We might have to move over to Cassius and go see what the big fella is up to.
The croc feed is just about to feed Cassius, the world's largest captive croc.
You can see some very short people over the back there that cannot see. Anyway, you guys can switch in. Alright, that is alright.
Pas de langue.
Alright guys, so this is Cassius, or King Cassius as we like to call him. He is the current Guinness World Record holder. the largest crocodile in captivity at 5.48 metres, about 1.3 tonnes and 115 years old. He is an exceptionally old, long and heavy crocodile. Now if it wasn't for Cassius being with us here in captivity, there is a very good chance he would no longer still be alive. And that is because crocodiles start to slow down at about the age of 80 or 90 and fall victim to younger, more aggressive crocodile out there in the wild. Now we know this was happening to Cassius because of all the battle scars and injuries that he does actually have on him. These range from all the scarring and character that you can see on top of his head, which is the result of fighting other crocodiles. He's also missing about 7 inches off his tail. He's also missing about 7 inches off his tail, so he could be a little bit bigger in the record books. Along with that, his front left leg is actually missing completely. Now we don't know how he lost his leg or his tail or those injuries in particular, but the most common explanation for that is fighting other crocodiles out there in the wild. So we do kind of consider him a bit of an old fella in a wheelchair, but that is to take nothing away from him. He can still move quite quickly when he wants to, and would be well and truly capable of fighting down at that 3,000 pounds per square inch mark. Now, if it wasn't for Cassius being with us here in captivity, I could just say that he would no longer still be alive. But he was first captured in 1983 and brought here in 1987 by George, and he was removed from the Finniss River. More or less, he is an Australian saltwater crocodile, and he is here mostly because it is a kind of crocodile prison for the crocodiles. Although we don't actually treat them like prisoners, they get treated quite well, fed every day, get everything they need. Even some of them having a girlfriend as well. Now he first got his title in 2012, guys, when the guys from the Guinness World Record Company did come over and help us measure him all the way from over in the States there. And he was measured at 5.48 metres. But crocodiles do get much bigger than that, and have been known to get anywhere up to about 7 metres out there in the wild. Although it is very hard to find a 7-metre crocodile these days, because we kind of culled them all the way up until about the 60s and 70s. So they only are now just getting back to those sizes. But Cassius actually lost his title soon thereafter to a crocodile in the Philippines by the name of Lolong. Sorry about that. They say that if you get splashed by a crocodile and live to tell a tale, it's considered good luck, I hear. But unfortunately for Lolong, he did not survive too long in captivity and has since passed away, so Cassius has regained his title. So once you've had once you've had a bit of a pat, guys, please move around and let somebody else have a go.
Well, that was quite an informative talk the croc feeder gave. And, well, yeah, he's right. Captive crocs, or captive animals in general, they don't need to work for their food. It's given to them. And, I don't know if you go to the gym much, but when you work out, you do boost up your metabolism. And it helps digest all that food quicker than you would be able to if you're just laying around all day. And by the way, those croc photos with the baby crocs cost about $20. Just touring around the island at the moment. I had to walk through the rainforest, and now I'm just looking at the surrounding beaches. The island is right in the middle of the Great Barrier Reef here. There's lots of sporting activities to do. If you like scuba diving, you'd probably want to come out to this island. They have scuba diving on the island. Just about to board the boat, the catamaran, back to the mainland now. The island is worth a visit, especially if you want to get a good look at the Great Barrier Reef. The island offers boat cruises with glass bottoms for viewing the coral, scuba diving equipment. If you like the video, subscribe and leave any comments in the comment section. In the next video, I'm going to track through the rainforest up at Cape Tribulation. Should be good.